Hey everyone, Ken here with Ken's Chalkologies, or Chalkologist, excuse me, gosh. I wanted to invite everyone here today. We are going to go over the presentation that I presented at Chalk Couture Leadership when we were at convention. Now, some of you have seen this, but others are waiting to kind of see it, and it's something I want to present to more people. You guys are kind of this test group, but I am recording this on YouTube. A couple of reasons for that. It will be easier for me to find and share with brand new team members. If you are on the Ken's Chalkology team, feel free to share it with your teams, but I would prefer it not to go outside of the group because I'll be presenting it in other groups here soon. Also, since this is a live broadcast, I'm asking that you keep all your questions until the very end. We will answer any of those questions at the end, so this way we can get through the content. And so just write them down if you have any questions. So let's go ahead and get started. So, when I first joined Chalk Couture, I was really excited. We had, for the first time, I was part of a group of individuals that was at the forefront of a direct sales. And I kind of went in with this idea of, I have a bigger following, so it will guarantee more recruits. I was pretty confident as soon as I shared this, we were gonna have tons of people. And you'll see there, between all of my social media followings, Facebook group, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of them, I have about 300,000 people that follow me. So I figured even if I tried to recruit 10%, I should have 30,000 new sponsors. However, I had, at the time of leadership, about 152. So I knew that a bigger following didn't guarantee results. So what did? If we look at my numbers, Q3 of 2017 to Q4 of 2017, I had a combined team of 52. So this is my first downline, not including one below that. So I was thinking to myself, well, it seems like if I only have 52, I think I could do a little bit better. I went to leadership, I learned a lot of leadership, and I did some testing and failing. What would work, what wouldn't work. And Q1 of 2018, I had 140 team members join. Q2 of 2018, I had 72 team members join. So a total of 180 team members just in these 2 quarters. So basically, what changed? How did I triple my amount of sponsors? That's what I want to go over with you guys today. Now, before I start the presentation, I'll let you know that there's 4 steps to this. This has been presented before. I've tweaked it a little bit to what has worked for me. I'm not saying that this will work for everyone, or you might not need to do everything exactly the same. You might want to tweak it for yourself, but this is what I've found has really worked for me. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Once again, save all questions to the end. I'll definitely go over that with you. But let's take a look at the first step. So the first step, step 1, is prospecting and building trust. Prospecting literally means digging for gold. Be intentional in your marketing efforts and actively go out and search for business partners. Building relationship does take time and patience, but it is so worth it. In this basically arena, this is where you're going out and generating a lot of interest around Chalk Couture. So this first step is all about the videos, the live videos, photos, basically getting yourself out there so someone is just interested. That's all this is. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the most important steps because this is where you're going to build relationships. Number 1 thing is be authentically you. I cannot stress this enough. This is probably one of the biggest things that I will stress to the end of time. Be you, not what your audience anticipates you will want or need. So for me, it was really important to learn this lesson, and it took me a very long time to learn this lessons. So I like this quote that I say all the time now: your vibe will attract your tribe, and people will connect with you as such. People want to be surrounded by like minds. People support people, not brands. Do not forget the human element and the power behind raving fans. So for me, I used to, for those of you who have followed me a long time, in the very beginning of Ken's Creations, I was very worried about what am I putting out there. I wanted it to be polished, professional, voiceovered, no personality at all. I wanted it to be very business ready. And so I did this for about a year, and I did get a lot of views, but I wasn't getting that connection with people. And I figured one day I was sitting there and I was like, gosh, something's missing. And I had my partner, my best friend, and someone who was on YouTube all come to me and say, you know what you do is amazing, but it's not you. And I said, oh, no, it's me. And they said, no, it's not you. You are funny. You are a little bit all over the map. You are, this is not you. This is the you want to be presented, but you're kind of taking 75% of Ken and pushing that to the back corner. And I took a risk. I was like, could be a horrible thing, but let's try it. And so I started to bring out the more side of Ken. Very, you know, kind of all over the map, kind of funny, kind of, you know, those little one-liners and a little chaotic, show mistakes and then show how to fix it. And I did lose a few people. A few people reached out and said, I miss your professional videos. But all in all, I saw a huge increase in engagement and people reaching out to me and saying, oh my gosh, I love you. That's so funny. I'm just like you. My husband's just like Sean. And we started making these connections. So I cannot stress it enough. When you're on YouTube, when you're on Facebook and you're seeing other people bring Chalk Couture, never forget about you. Because people are going to be attracted to you. There might be people that watch my live videos and say, I cannot be on his team. He's all over the place. Or there could be people that are like, I want to be on that team. That's exactly who I am. And just remember that sometimes they might not be a good match for me, but they might be a good match for Jessica, another Chalk Couture designer who has her own vibe. So never forget that piece, that piece of, it is who I am, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. It's very hard, but once you do that, you will be shocked at what you get back. The big part of being you is to build relationships. This is by far one of my biggest stress of this presentation is it's all about the relationship. When you're truly interested in others and show that you care, they begin to trust and like you. This is a fact. When you start building those relationships and answering questions truthfully and honestly and let people know, they do start building a trust with you. And you never want to lose that trust. So that's where that be authentically you and answering those questions honestly. Asking questions to the potential prospect will allow you to enter the person's world and truly understand them. This portion of the presentation will become so important in step 3 when you actually do present the business to them, because you need to understand why are they even interested in Chalk Couture. And usually when someone reaches out, I love your Chalk Couture video, I have a few questions. My first question will be, what did you like about Chalk Couture? Oh, I loved you know, the artwork you made, and I can make that and sell that, or I just want to make it for my home. And these are all little notes I'm writing down because number 1, it shows that I'm interested, but number 2, and most importantly, when I present the information to that person, I can present it ideally to them. So for example, Sarah, earlier you told me that you live in a community where you can do workshops every week, and Chalk Couture is perfect for that. In our workshops we can, and then you go down that route. Because if someone comes to me and says, well, I'm interested in the business, and I present a whole bunch of hobbyist stuff to them, I've lost that element. But always remember that relationship piece, build the relationship. Sometimes that relationship will take 3 weeks, sometimes it'll take 3 months, and eventually it will pay off. Maybe not Chalk Couture, but another way. You never know. That might be a new best friend. I cannot stress it enough. Build relationships, not just with customers. Build relationship with your team members, your upline, and other teams. I cannot stress this enough. And that incorporates into the shared journey, not sales. Up until leadership, I was the king of, let me just post a photo of Chalk Couture and people will come and click on that link and they will be so amazed. And I was, you know, very hardcore on you should join. And here's the reason why. If you look at my videos before leadership and look at my videos after leadership, it's very different. Before leadership, I would spend the first 10 minutes going over why you should join, the benefits, here's this, and it was just a ton of information, but no one was joining. After leadership, I shared the journey, not the sales. So when I was at leadership, I shared a video of me at leadership. I shared photos of me with friends at leadership. I shared the new catalog. I never once said, here's why you should join, because people don't want to be sold to. When you share your story, you're relatable. Your job is not to convince, but to educate. Always show emotions. They're powerful. Once again, when I was at leadership, once I got back from leadership, by sharing the journey, sharing my emotions, it resulted in 100 new sponsors. I cannot stress it enough. People will scroll past photographs that come off as a sales pitch. So many times I'm sure, and I won't bring any names of direct sale companies, but you'll be scrolling Facebook and all of a sudden someone will be like, hey, look at this product. You know, I lost weight, I got healthier, I got this. But then you're like, well, I feel like I'm being sold to. Where if someone is doing a presentation on their journey, it's much more powerful. Sometimes I don't even write a description of what's going on. I just go live and people are like, oh, what's happening? That's exactly what you want. If there's a description that is this big, long description, you should join Chalk Couture because of you can make 40% and you can build a team, da, 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 da. People don't even want to look at the video. But if there's no description, sometimes they're like, what's this video about? You know, we did a video when we were at Chalk Couture convention of us just dancing. And some people were like, what are you guys doing? We're dancing. We're at Chalk Couture convention. And you would not believe how many people after that said, I saw you partying at Chalk Couture. What is it? Share the journey, not the sales. I cannot stress that enough. Consistent content. Understand how social media works. Post at least 1 week on a Facebook page versus your personal page, and use Facebook, YouTube Live to get noticed so you can track more qualified recruits. Down below in the description, I've given you 2 people that do this really well. One is Jilly Sue. She is actually a leader with a different direct sales company, but her content is amazing about how to build a team and how to build a brand that's not coming off sales. She goes a lot into why you should do it on a page versus a personal page. So I don't want to go too much into that, but pages are powerful. Pages are searchable. You can actually take products on it. But she goes into this great demonstration of you need to present it as if someone's coming into your house versus someone that's coming into a business. So I really encourage you to look down below. The presentation she did in Mandy Leahy's group, which is my upline, is very amazing. So if you have not watched it, click on it. It's great. To that point, Mandy has also done a really good job building a brand that suits her. In fact, I'll share a personal story. I used to always give Mandy a hard time. She never goes live. It's always polished. They're perfect videos. The way she approaches social media and the way I approach social media are very different, but we attract that tribe that matches that vibe. So just because I'm looking at Mandy's page and saying, okay, she does this amazing, I'm going to copy it, it might not work for me because some people might then actually get to know me and say, that's not you at all. You know, so there is that difference. She also did a leadership presentation on how to build your Facebook page and promote it. So I highly encourage you to watch that as well. It will go into more of the consistent content and how social media works. You need to know how this works if you're going to market your business, because you need to understand the power, the algorithm, all of that stuff. There's so many times I hear from people, no one's looking at my post. I go look at their post and it's a private post. It's only sharing it with their friends. And I said, you need to make this public so everyone can see it. So check that out and be consistent. You should be going at least once a week on a social media platform, if not every day. Change it up and definitely look into live. Live is where it is at. Both Facebook and YouTube are trying to get their live content out in the world, so they are going to push those higher in their algorithms, and it's built-in engagement. When people are watching live, they're commenting and they're liking, and those are 2 big things to get increase in engagement. It's very important. So let's talk about step 2. Step 2 is take a look at the business. Only once you've completed prospecting and building trust is it appropriate to extend an invitation to take a look at the business and allow a prospect to inquire for more information and content. So invitations. What you want to do is expose them to some information so they can learn more about Chalk Couture. Do not send blind communications, blind emails. Invites should be organic and not forced upon people. Invite them but never impose on someone who has not shown interest. It's frustrating for both parties. This step is really important because you're giving them the invitation to take a look at Chalk Couture. Now I'm saying invitation, you're not presenting anything to them right now. And that brings to the next step. Do not present info directly yet. Where most people go wrong is they confuse the invitation with presentation. And once you find out if they're open to learning your business, then you can extend the invitation. So what I mean by this, and let me explain some specifics. Obviously, we're excited. We love Chalk Couture. We want to get it out there. I know so many people that do a huge, great, big Facebook Messenger and say, hey guys, I'm doing Chalk Couture. And you can make a lot of money and build a team. Let me know if you're interested. And they send it to like 100 people. it is the worst thing you can do, because most people are going to drop out of the conversation and they're going to say, oh my gosh, Ken is doing Chalk Couture. That's all he's talking about. I'm going to unfollow him right now. So that way I'm still his friends, but he doesn't know I'm following his post. So it's very frustrating. It's also really important to know the type of communication they have and match that, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Invites should always be organic. So when I do a live video, I will say, hey, if you're interested in joining, let me know by putting join. If you're interested in sales, let me know by putting VIP. Or if you want more about the business, let me know by putting, business. And once they do that, I can direct them to present information to them. So how do I present information? Facebook groups are very important. If you guys are not part of my opportunity group, I've had a lot of people say, what is that group for? Why are you adding us to it as if it's your group? I really want you guys to understand the importance of an opportunity group. An opportunity group literally should have nothing in it besides, 10 steps of the business and how people then can go organically search that. So for example, if you go to my opportunity group, which the link is down below, you will see where it says start here. And it goes into, here's what Chalk Couture is. Here's the commission plan. Here's Savvy Seller. Here's Designer Debut. And they literally can click on each link and go and just self-discover. So this way, they're basically saying, okay, Designer Debut, what's that all about? Oh, I have some further questions. I'm going to write them down. What is a Savvy Seller and how is that important? I have some questions. I'm going to write it down. The one thing you don't want in your group is a ton of posts and random stuff, because it can be overwhelming. You want it to be where literally the only posts in there are what you can control and navigate them through. And essentially this is a self-discovery. So people can go through and see what they like about the business and what they don't like about the business. This is not a group where if someone comments, this looks good, to attack them or anything. It's literally, if they have a question, they might in the comments say, now tell me exactly how this Designer Debut. Once again, there's an invitation, then you can reach out to them. Facebook groups are a great way to invite your peeps to take a peek at your business opportunity with Chalk Couture. Every designer should have a VIP group and a business opportunity group. Your VIP is deal, sales, and exclusives, where your opportunity group is potential sponsors wanting to take a look at the business. So this is really important. And once again, Jill Sue will go over this in her video, but VIP really should be your core handful of customers that are your best customers that you want to give them deals. It really should be an exclusive group that eventually you get invited to. There's some people that run their VIP groups that say, I will add you to my VIP group once you've placed, $500 orders with me, you get access to that group, because you don't want to just put everyone into it, because it kind of doesn't feel like a VIP group. And you don't want it to be where it's a group where you're constantly going and giving a discount, because then people won't buy your retail value. Very rarely will I go in and say, let's give you 40% off everything. Usually when I do, it's a celebration. Because of you guys, I was able to get to Couturier, and I want to give you the 40% discount as a thank you for 24 hours. So that VIP group should be really exclusive. The opportunity group really is just for people that are like, I'm kind of interested in the business. Maybe I want to join, but I'm not sure. Don't forget, sometimes your VIPs can end up in your opportunity group, which is great. They're such a good VIP that they eventually want to get the discount. During lives, I've already talked about this, but have people comment keywords to join, like VIP or info, and add them accordingly. Sometimes when people ask to be part of my VIP, I'll reach out to them if they've never ordered from me, and I'll say, in a private message, my VIP group is a very exclusive group of my very important customers. In order to get in that group, you have to do X. Some people don't want to do that because it discourages it, but sometimes you'll get so many people in your VIP group, 500, 600, that it doesn't feel very important anymore. And so you have to look at that angle. Both groups are invitations to look at the business, how you run it, and get more info. Sometimes people join these groups just to see how you're doing, just to see, will this vibe attract me? Do I like the way Ken is presenting information, or his VIP group or opportunity groups? So never forget that both of them will have them take a look at the business, but it's very different what you're presenting in those groups. So what to post in these groups? So whenever you post in these groups, take a leadership posture and think of opportunity as a gift you're offering others. So what that means is, you'll see me sometimes on my personal page, I'm so blessed Chalk Couture came into my life. Because of Chalk Couture, I've been able to, work from home, A, B, C, D. All I'm doing is trying to get interest of saying I'm a leader with this community, and people might say, well, what is Chalk Couture? And I'll say, you know what, let me add you to this group so you can take a look at it. You want to make sure that they know that Chalk Couture is a gift. That's the way I look at it. Yes, it's a business. Yes, you can make money. But for me, here's what Chalk Couture has allowed me to live my life. Here's what it's done for me. And that could be different for everyone. Someone might post, hey, look at this beautiful, Christmas piece of art that I made. And people are like, that's beautiful. How'd you do it? You know what? I have a group. Let me show you, VIP group or whatever. Show results versus facts. Show how Chalk Couture has transformed and impacted your life. This is so important. If I just go on there and say, there's someone in the company that's making $55,000 a month doing Chalk Couture, people are going to be like, okay. Or if I go in and say, once again, Chalk Couture has transformed my life and now I'm able to work from home, I'm very blessed. People will instantly think, well, Ken worked at a bank. That has to be so much income, and now he's replaced it with Chalk Couture. Wow, I want to know a little bit more about that. People are attracted to investing in you, investing in your success, and being part of that success. And that's how you will organically get people to want to look at your business. Which leads you to step 3, presenting the opportunity. Now here's the fun part, presenting the information to your prospect. If you've made it this far, give yourself a huge pat on the back. Once your prospect agrees to take a look at the information, you will want to use third-party resources. Yep, that means not you. And I'll explain that here in a sec. So communication is so key in presenting the information. Once your peep agrees to take a look at your information, you need to understand their mode of communicating. Phone calls and knocks on the door seems intrusive to most people nowadays and are reserved for family and friends. Mirror the communication they initiated or ask them how they would like their information. All right, guys, this is huge. In today's society, there are still people that love to talk on the phone, but the majority, especially millennials, are a technology advanced society, meaning they want to text, they want to Facebook message, they might want to video chat. To people, emails, knocks on the doors, and phone calls are very personal. So if someone calls me and I don't know the number, what do we all do? We send them to voicemail. And then we listen to the voicemail and say, do we want to let them in or not? If someone was to knock at my door, the first thing is, who's at my door? What's going on? Am I in trouble? Because no one is coming to doors and just knocking to say, hey, I just wanted to come and see you. So I swung by your house just to hang. Usually they'll text message me, I'm in the neighborhood, are you home? So you got to remember the time we're in. It's very much so communication has changed. I always mirror the communication. So if someone has reached out to me and said, hey, I took a look at the information in your opportunity group, and they did this on Facebook Messenger, I have more questions. I will always type back in Facebook Messenger, perfect. What's the best way to communicate the information? Here, email, would you like me to call you? And most people will say, here's fine. Some people email me. They find my email on my Chalk Couture site, so I'm going to respond that way. Very rarely do I get phone calls. If I do, sometimes I'll say I can get you a lot more information in a Facebook Messenger or on email, because then I can actually send graphics and things like that. But if they really want to talk on the phone, mirror that back to them. People, if you change it on them, if they do it on Facebook Messenger and you say, what's your email? I want to send stuff. People are like, ooh, I am not sure. So remember that. First, conversations. Ask questions around motive to join Chalk Couture and what motivates them to succeed. Understand the why they are joining, and the motivation is a must to understand your next steps. So do you remember in that first slide I said, make sure to ask questions? This is where it comes into play. I cannot stress this enough, especially like on Facebook Messenger. If someone comes to me and says, gosh, I saw your live, I'm very interested in the business, and I add them to the opportunity group, I'm going to say, oh, what did you love about the business and why are you thinking of joining? And if they say, I'm thinking of joining because my kids are in soccer, I want to get them in soccer camp, but it's $1,500 a year and I cannot afford it, so I'm looking to potentially get a second income from this. And so we now know the why and what's the motivation. Their motivation is to get money for soccer camp. So literally when I present the information, I'm going to go back to that. Chalk Couture can bring in a second income. It does take about a month to 2 months to start building your following, and here's how you can bring in that second income. So I'm speaking directly to them. Nothing is worse than if, let's say it's a designer and they reached out to me and said, I love Chalk Couture. I love the beautiful things you can make. And I go, oh my gosh, Chalk Couture is great. You can make so much money at it. You can build a team. And you know they've seen it. We all know Facebook Messenger. You see that little face pop down. You're like, well, they've seen my message. They're not responding. What's going on? And days go by and you get more and more frustrated. You're not speaking their love language. You're not speaking the why. So building the relationship and asking those questions and those first steps are so important. I have a notebook that sometimes I keep notes in and saying, you know, Jessica is interested in Chalk Couture. She loves the art. She wants to make beautiful things. She works from home already. She's retired, things like that. So that way when I present information, I'm speaking directly to their needs. Once again, it's important to know why they're coming to you. I cannot stress this enough. Based on the answers they've given you, you will know if they're a potential sponsor or a designer or entrepreneur. So I have so many people that join Chalk Couture and they literally tell me, I want the 40% discount. I have no interest in doing the business. So it's very important for me to say, okay, my communication for a designer will revolve around information around the 40% discount, design dollars, the community of design dollars, and basically what they can do. So if I'm joining because I want the discount, design dollars are going to be huge to me. Ken, as a designer, every $200 you spend on products, you're going to get $20 free to spend the next month. As a designer, I'm going to be like, oh, so basically I'm getting another 10% off. So I've already gotten 40% off. I'm getting a bounce back for another 10% off. So it's essentially like getting 50% off. That's going to speak to designers. It's going to call their name. An entrepreneur obviously is interested because they want to make money. So the information that I send to a potential person saying I want to do the business will revolve around the compensation plan, savvy seller, our career chart, and the DIY industry. When I reach out to them, I'm literally going to say, if you join and you want to do the business, you have the potential of making good money. Here's how. When you get to Couturier, for every master mentor, you get $1,000 every single month. The career chart, how does it take you from a designer up to Couturier, and what does that steps look like? Savvy seller, for every $2,000 you sell, either in your own product or to customers, you get an additional 10%. So it's basically like $200 just like that. This is going to speak to someone that does the business. But you can see if you mix them up how confusing that could be. If a designer is saying to me, I want to be a designer, and you're like, oh my gosh, let me show you this career chart, they're going to look at that chart and be like, I don't want to be in a group where they're constantly focused on me building my team. I used to be part of a couple different organizations, and every month it's like, well, you know, if you get 2 people under you, you're going to get your product for free. And if they get 2 people under you, this is going to happen. And you're just like, I just joined to get the product. And now you want me to recruit? I don't want to do this. I don't want to be part of Chalk Couture. So you really need to understand who's your designers and who's your business. Never forget though, a designer potentially can be the business. If you've noticed in my group, a lot of my team, I recently started a leader page. And the reason for this is I have a lot of designers. And I noticed in my team page, we were getting a lot of, how do I get a recruit? How do I do this? And I didn't want the designers in the group to be like, I never want to recruit. Maybe this isn't the right place for me. Where my leader group is literally a place for that. How do I do this? How do I recruit? I have a question. How can I answer this? You know, what's going on with commission engine and stuff. It's getting that out of the team page. We still have a little bit in the team page, but it's really, these are the people that I'm focusing on saying, I want to do the business. How do I do the business? How do I get there? And then the designers can post their pretty things and everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. How'd you do it? And knowing that sometimes our designers are seeing the success of the group, seeing the success of people, and they eventually might say, you know, I started off as a designer, but now I'm thinking I want to do the business. And then we can present that information to them. Power of third-party info. This one was so hard for me, you guys. You guys all know I have a YouTube channel and I love doing lives and presenting it. So I used to always think, if I have the information, why would I send them somewhere else? And I started understanding the idea of this third-party information. So third-party means anything but you. So a third party could be an event, a three-way phone call with your upline and a different designer, sending a link to a video, especially Chalk Couture gives this video, sending them a link. You basically want people to see, especially if they're doing the business, that what I'm doing is reproducible. So sometimes if I was just using all of my information, I'm doing lives, I'm doing Switcher Studios, in fact, you guys do this all the time, people will say, well, how do I do that? I don't know if I can do that. I'm not good with lives. I'm not good with Switcher Studios. I'm not good with this. And so they're thinking, I can't do the business. But there's many times I send people to Jessica, who's a different designer. She has her own team. Yes, she's on Mandy's team, but I send people there because I want people to see I can do it. She can do it. We go about it different ways, but it's doable. You'll see me sometimes post YouTube videos. Yesterday I posted the La La Land video from convention, and it was to show like anyone can do this. There's many times you'll see people posting things that aren't theirs, and that's okay. Sometimes, yes, they join Jessica's team versus mine because her vibe attracted them to them. So it's really important to make sure that when you recruit someone, you're letting them know, hey, anyone can do this, even if you don't do live videos. Here's all the resources. The event is great, so if you have a Chalk Couture event in your area, send them there. A 3-way phone call with your upline versus someone else could be great because they're hearing it from someone else. Basically, you want people thinking, he had me watch a video to gain interest. So when I was interested in joining Chalk Couture, he sent me a Chalk Couture video. It's not his, it's provided by corporate, but I can do that. I can easily send video links to people and generate that interest. So the power of third party is huge. I started introducing that in March, and a lot of people were like, oh, this isn't your video. This is, this is Mandy's video. Yep, that's how she presents it. That's how she does this. So people can see there's different ways to approach it. So if you've went through all 3 steps and you've gotten to the part where you close the deal and welcome the peep, this is huge. You've put a lot of hard work with prospecting, building a relationship, inviting and presenting your opportunity potentials. Do not let all the hard work go by wasting the deal. So basically, you've gone through this whole process. And this process can be different for some people. Some people, you might have a few questions, give them the information, and they say, I'm ready to join. Some people, though, you present all the information. Once again, you see their little face pop down, but they're not responding to you. So closing the deal is different for each one, and it's very important. Do not let all the hard work go to waste by not closing the deal. Do not assume they're going to just sign up. This is where a lot of people make mistakes. Closing will save time and frustration chasing peeps who have no intentions of signing up. You guys all know it. Every once in a while, someone's like, I think I'm interested in Chalk Couture. You present the information to them. Day goes by, 2 days goes by. You see their little face, so you know they've read it. And you're like, what's happening? Why are they not interested? Instead of just giving them your link to sign up and say, when you're ready, just sign up here, and nothing happens, it's better to ask simple questions. So closing can be as simple as asking the question. If you do not ask, the answer will always be no. So we do all this work, but we're always afraid to say, are you ready to sign up? Because we're afraid of rejection. We're humans. We don't want to be rejected on. We don't want that no. So I usually will say, I'm excited that you love the information I sent you, and I'm happy to hear you're excited about Chalk Couture. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no, absolutely not, and 10 being yes, I'm ready to jump in, where do you see yourself? This is a great way. Think of it as going to the doctor's office when you're in pain and they say, where are you on the smiley chart? Are you really happy or are you really sad and in a lot of pain? And then the doctor basically can address your situations where you're at. It's the same thing. If someone says, you know what, I'm at a 2, they're not ready. Perfect, great. Well, you're still in my opportunity group. If you have further questions, let me know, and I won't reach out to them again. I will wait for them to reach back out to me. If they're an 8, I'll say, okay, it sounds like you might have a few more questions. What other questions do you want me to dive deeper into? If they're a 9 or 10, I usually say, perfect, I'm so excited to invite you to my team. Here's how you sign up. Here's my link, and get going. A 5 usually is where they're torn. A 5 usually means you presented the information wrong. So somehow in your process, you've heard that they're a designer, but really they're a business owner. And you need to say, okay, well, let me ask some more questions about, why you want to join Chalk Couture. Maybe I miscommunicated on my end and I'm confused on why you want to start your journey. Because a 5 usually lets you know that you presented it, they're still interested, but they're confused on why they're interested. So once they've signed up, we all get the email. We're excited, they've signed up. I have an email that goes out right away to sponsors. My email does have a lot of information. I'm going to be reworking it to have videos in it. But I have 2 formats. The first email usually is how to get into the back office, how discounts work, how to place an order now. Cannot tell you how many people are like, well, I'm a sponsor now, but I don't know how to place an order. Do I go to your site? Do I go to my site? Design dollars, Salver seller bonus, and Facebook team page. I cannot stress it enough. Do not just add people to team pages without asking them. The reason why is Nothing is worse than going to your Facebook group page and all of a sudden it says, you've been added to all these groups. And you're like, I didn't want to be added to all those groups. And now they're clogging up my page and I have to go either drop out of it or unfollow it. Or if you give them and saying, here's, Ken's team page, here's Mandy's team page, Ken's my upline, Mandy's his upline, there's great information. Here's a link to join. Make sure they know that you're, my downline. That way they can make the decision. Now, I will let you know there's many times in my team page where I will post a video and it's in Mandy's group. People say, I do not see the video. And I'll say, well, that's in Mandy's group. To see that video, you need to be part of her group as our upline. And people will say, oh, great. And then they'll join at that time. But sometimes when you just add people, like, there's me, then Mandy, and then there's Brenda, who's Mandy's upline, and if I just add them to Team B, they have no idea who Brenda is. Why am I in this group? Why is there 10,000 people? Is she my leader? Is she not my leader? This way they can make that decision. The second email, I usually wait a while to send out, but it will have the business library, policy and procedure, commission structure, training, social media departments, success stories. This email usually will only go out to certain people that are doing the business or if they need more information. Sometimes I don't send out this email because they're in the Facebook group and a lot of the information's there and they've already got it and I can see like they're good to go. But if I see someone, especially in the Facebook group, always asking questions, okay, I don't understand where's policy procedure, I don't understand what this is, I might send that second email. Once they've joined your Facebook group though, make sure to welcome them. Tag them in the pinned post with valuable information. So like in our group, we have a pinned post that has that month's current contest. It has links to back office, has links to videos. And so usually we'll try to tag them in that. A lot of people, once they join, they read it and they'll write agreed or that they've read it. So this part is once your team, engage, train, and repeat. So I am a firm believer, even if you have one team member, you should have a Facebook group because you want that one team member to feel like they joined your team. You want them to feel like they belong with your tribe. I didn't have a team page for a very long time because I felt like I was too busy and I'm not going to be able to be engaged in it and I have too many things going on. And then I listened to myself. This person just joined my team and I just now said, I'm too busy for you. This person just joined my team and I'm engaged in other things and don't find this valuable. This person just joined my team and I'm basically saying, go to Mandy, she's basically your team lead. So it can be very confusing. So I do encourage Facebook groups, even if it is, there's great information in Ken's group or there's great information in Mandy's group, they feel like they belong to this team that they've joined. Make sure you engage on that team page, whether it be pointing them to where there's contest in my team page or Mandy's team page. Make sure you're posting lives, training, encourage members to post. I cannot stress that enough. So many times a member asks a question on my team page and in 5 minutes I will go to answer it and it's already been answered by 5 designers. And they feel like they're part of a community. They feel the support from the other designers. So I always encourage people, post your artwork, post your questions, anything like that so we can help you. Never forget, hobbyists are the backbone of your group and have the potential to be your next builder. I've seen a lot of team leaders out there that basically will say, hobbyists are weighing me down. They don't ever want to do the business, so how are they going to help me grow? And my response to that is, my hobbyists are the ones that are posting all the artworks that my builders are saying, oh my gosh, that artwork is amazing. Can I use it? Can I reproduce it? Oh my gosh, I love that. The hobbyists are the ones posting the artwork because they're literally doing what they love. They're making artwork. And the other people in the group can see that. Plus, our hobbyists are placing orders. Every month, they still have to meet that 150 minimum, our minimum to stay active. And most of the time, they're buying more than that 150 because they're hobbyists. They want everything. They want to make it. Never forget that hobbyists are so important to our business, but there are times hobbyists, and I will use Cheryl, who's on Mandy's team, as an example. For those of you who have not seen her artwork, she's brilliant. Her name is Cheryl McCarthy. I call her my chalk couture wife because I love her artwork. She started off just loving the artwork and posting on her page and people being like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What is it? And she would always kind of be like, oh, it's chalk couture. She's now turned into a builder and she's always in top sales on Mandy's team. And she started off as a designer. So never forget your hobbyists can eventually be your builders. Never forget to continue to train your team. Things are always changing. And I am a transparent communicator. So basically, if I get information, I want you to know it as soon as possible, regardless if it's good information or bad information. For those of you in my team page, you recently saw that Chalk Couture has delayed the release of new transfers by a week. Is that frustrating? Absolutely. Did I know when I posted people are going to be kind of bummed out? Yes. But they're eventually going to hear it. So I want them to hear it from me so I can answer questions, and versus them getting in an email and saying, Ken, why is it taking another week? And I'm so upset. And you can be at the forefront with that communication. Always, always, always have them watch your success and steps so they can repeat it. Make sure, I'm a firm believer in don't keep stuff hidden. Don't be like, oh, well, that's my email and that's how I welcome people, but I'm not going to share that with you because I don't want you to copy it. I'm the opposite of that. Any of my tools, use it. Any of my live videos, use them. Any of my photos I post in the group, it's yours, because it's going to help your team. And that's what it all comes down to. So if you implement these steps into your business today, the 4 steps, I can guarantee you're going to see some sort of change in your sponsoring. I always say, always reach for the moon. You'll land among the stars. I cannot stress it enough, you guys. We live in a social media age, and it's all about engagement and being yourself and presenting honest information. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, I understand we want people to build on our team, but be honest. When people come to me and they say, so is Chalk Couture basically a pyramid scheme? I will be honest and say Chalk Couture rewards people that build their team. Yes, we do have that, but that's not the entire business, and that's not our entire vision statement. Our vision is basically to bring the light into your life, and whatever way you want to go, we're here to support. I never want people to be tricked into joining. I'd never hide behind the $19.99 fee. I will explain it in a way of, yes, we do have a $19.99 fee every month. However, with that fee, you get a transfer. That's retail $14.99. That leaves only $5 that you're paying to back office. This pays for your website. This pays for support. This pays for our shipping warehouse. It pays for all of that for just $5 a month. And usually people are like, oh, I get a free transfer every month. Cool. And it diffuses them. Never hide behind that, because guess what? When they find that information out, they're going to come to you and they're going to be upset, number 1. But number 2, what are they going to do? You guys, they're going to go to Facebook. I just joined Chalk Couture. I didn't know about the $19.99 fee. All they care about is building a team because they make all their money, and then that spreads like wildfire. So be honest in your recruiting efforts. Be yourself, and I can guarantee you, you will see an increase. That's everything. Unless there's questions. I'm sure there's questions.
Not yet. If you do have questions, send them now. Send them now.
Yes. And this video will be on YouTube. You can definitely refer to it. I will be implementing a presentation. So if you do want to present this to your groups, I will be sharing it with you guys. I will be going into other people's groups to present the information. And I can't stress it enough. Just because it works for me, tweak it. If you didn't agree with certain things in the slideshow, you'll be like, that's not for me. Definitely tweak it. Anything you can incorporate into your way of trying to gain sponsors is definitely going to help in that process. I'm just sharing what I changed once going to leadership. Leadership was instrumental in my growing. Not only did I learn more about the business, I made relationships with Mandy and Jessica and Sarah, and I was able to connect with them and say, what works for you? What doesn't work for you? I cannot wait to go to events now. Events are contagious. They're fun. I feel like I'm seeing my best friends again. So if you've never been to one of our events, definitely go, because it will spark something inside of you.
Paper cranes. So if you get kicked off, if you can't pay the $150 a month, what happens?
All right, great question. So when you join Chalk Couture, we are a quarterly basis company, which means every quarter you have to hit that requirement of 150. Your quarter belongs at the next quarter. So if you were to join now, which is July, you're already in a quarter. So we're basically going to give you that quarter free. So in July, August, September. If you join July 2nd or September 30th, you're in a quarter. As soon as you start your next full quarter, you're going to have to hit that $150 increment. If for whatever reason you do not hit it, here's what would happen. You go what's called inactive. You're no longer an active designer. And to basically rejoin, you have 2 options. If you go inactive, let's say September 30th, the next day is October 1st, you can rejoin that very next day. You pay the $99 and you'll rejoin your current team. So if you're on my team, you would just rejoin my team. There are people that are on teams and they realize this vibe is definitely not my tribe. I need a new team leader. If that's the case, on that first day that you're inactive, if you want to change teams, you do have to wait 6 months. So let's say you want to join Jessica's team from my team, you would go inactive October 1st. You would have to wait 6 months before joining someone else's team. But for most people, when they just go inactive, they just rejoin the same team by paying that $99 again.
Not sure if this is a question by Melody. If I buy a transfer and it costs more with shipping, or is there such a thing? I don't even know if that's a question.
If I buy a transfer
and the shipping, it costs more than the transfer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So our shipping at Chalk Couture is a flat shipping by dollar amount. We do not ship by weight or volume because we want to make sure customers know exactly what they're going to pay for shipping. So I always tell people, if you're going to buy something from Chalk Couture, make sure you make a list and put it in the cart, because you'll notice at certain dollar increments, it will go from $5 shipping and it'll jump up to $9, and you've hit that phase. So people that just buy one Chalkology paste, you're gonna pay the same amount in shipping as if you were to buy, I think, 3 Chalkology pastes. The shipping's the same. So keep that in mind. We are on a dollar amount shipping. It is in back office. There's a shipping table that says here's the different amounts. So people that buy like a little A transfer is gonna pay the same amount as if I think you buy like 4 A transfers. So yeah, it is a dollar amount.
Okay. Can you only sign into Commission Engine from a PC, or can you do it from an iPad and Google?
You can do it from an iPad and Google. Commission Engine, the very first time you do Commission Engine, I would recommend doing it on PC in Google Chrome. Because there is a one-time setup process that you have to go through. Once you've went through that, you should be able to enter on any device. Keep in mind, Commission Engine is only really through the end of this month. At the end of the month, we're getting a whole new system update, and it will be all in one spot. So you'll log into your back office and it will be right there. There will be no need to go to Commission Engine. So bear with me. Commission Engine is one of those things that is like, oh gosh, and trying to understand it, and why does my orders not show here and they show here, and where are my orders? All of that will be gone at the end of July. I cannot wait. This new system is amazing.
So actually, Melody was trying to say that monthly transfer you get, it is shipped to you free.
I see what
you're
saying. Yes, the $14.99, the $19.99 fee is just that. There's no shipping, no tax. You get that transfer, and then that $5 basically pays for all the maintenance, and there is no shipping. So it's a great. A lot of people get so scared. How am I going to present the $19.99 fee? If you present it on someone who reaches out and says, "Hey, do you have a monthly fee?" Yeah, we do. I know it's unfortunate. It's $20 a month, but you know, you can't get around it. If you want to join, you have to. Or you can present it in, do you have a monthly fee? We do have a monthly fee. This monthly fee, you get our Club Couture. Our Club Couture gets you access to a transfer a month early than you can buy it as a customer. This way we can get projects ready, we can take a look at it, we can promote it. So it's a B transfer. It's usually $14.99 retail, so you're getting that as part of your $19.99. That leaves $5. And you know, unlike other design companies, we don't charge just a $10 fee for the website. It's included in the $5. So is customer support, email support, telephone support, your warehouse support. All that's included for the $5. So when you present it that way, people are like, oh, I get a free transfer every month. That's normally $14.99. That's cool. And then to their minds, they're thinking it's only $5.
Brandon asks, once someone is on your team, they need $100 each month to count towards your commission?
So this, good question. So people get confused on this. So don't forget, there is a $150 requirement that each designer has to do to stay active. If you are doing the business and you want to count people as your downline. So you'll hear sometimes say, oh, I have 5 PSQ. And you're like, what's PSQ? That's personally sponsored qualified. So once someone basically spends $100 that month or sells $100 in that month of PV, they actually become what's basically qualified, meaning they now count towards incentive. So there is a lot of hobbyists that never hit that $100. You'll hear some team leads say, I have 900 people on my team and only 200 of them are qualified. Those other 700 need to qualify. I never look at it that way. What I look at it is there's going to be some months some people hit that $100 and some months they don't hit that $100. It's up to them. I will do team incentives. A lot of times you'll hear like, in order to be qualified for this contest, you have to spend at least $100. It's my way of saying, oh, once they do that, they're personally sponsor qualified and they can now be in the drawing. So it's different than your qualifications. So keep that in mind. That's only for incentive purposes.
Somebody can't quite hear me. So I'm gonna pass on. Sorry that you guys can't hear me. Anyway, the next one is, this is from Fatima. Awesome video. Where do we find the design dollars? And with that, do design dollars expire each month?
So there's no way to, well, there is a way. I bet you I can log in. Just one sec, guys. Let me log into my back office here. So anytime I show my back office, please remember this is confidential information. We should not be sharing it just because there's customer orders in here. There's how much our team's done and stuff like that. Okay, so let me make sure I can log in here. So, okay. So on the new one, yes. So to Sean's point, on the new one, it will just be in your back office. When you log in, it will say, here's your dollars and you can go spend them. Design dollars do expire in 60 days and currently you have to use them all in one order. Meaning if I get 100 design dollars, I have to use that in an order. On the new system, they still will expire in 60 days, but you can break up your design dollars. So if you've earned 100 design dollars, you would be able to only use 60 of it and the 40 could be another order. But when you're in Commission Engine, you have basically up here, you have sales and credits. So if I go to, so right now you can see my personal volume is 1670. So if I go to credit, give it a sec to refresh. And sometimes it does this and I have to hit refresh again. And it could be just this month is down because they're making a whole bunch of adjustments. So let's go to a previous month. So let's go to June, and it could be the Commission Engine's down. There we go. So if we go to that and we go down to my records and go to this, my bonuses or my achievement bonuses, there's in two spots where you can do it. There's my design dollars. So you can see for the month of July, I've done 1,600 PV and I have 160 design dollars that I've earned so far this month. You can see in June, I'm going to be getting 120. Those are always sent to you in an email around the 15th of the month. So anything here down has already been awarded to me and I've either used them or not. This 120 I will get this month on the 15th. This 160 is the month I'm currently in. And it basically is keeping tally saying you are this close. I cannot stress enough when you're doing your orders or when you're working with customers and stuff like that. If you're close to the next design dollar, place an order. So for example, if you're at design dollars of, let's say, 1950, that basically means you need to go spend $50 and you're going to bounce up to 2,000 because you're going to get an extra $20 in design dollars. Plus at the $2,000 mark, you get the Savvy Seller. So I cannot wait for the new Commission Engine or the new website because this whole Commission Engine will be back and it will be plain as day. When you log into your back office, it's going to say, hey, Ken, and then it's going to literally have little boxes everywhere. And it will have here's your design dollars and how they break down. Here's your commission. Here's how you made money. Here's the people that have recently joined your team. Here's the people that have just promoted. Here's your news. It is phenomenal, you guys. I cannot stress it.
So far, so you did do they expire each month or are they?
They expire 60 days from the day they were issued. So if they're issued on, let's say June's are issued on July 15th, I have until August, September 15th to use them.
Does the order you placed with the coupon count towards that $100?
So, good question. So if you are using a designer dollars, so let's say I have a $200 PV order, 200 wholesale. I use 100 design dollars. Now my orders went from 200 to me owing $100. I will get 100 PV for that. So I get it all the time where people will go and say, hey, I just placed an order of $100 and it's not showing in the back office. And I will usually say, well, do you see it in your inventory? Yes, I see the order. Okay, how did you pay for it? I used my design dollars. Okay, so your total was $0. You just had to pay for shipping. Correct. You didn't earn any PV because that's after discount. So always keep that in mind. $200 order. I used 100 design dollars. Now I'm down to a $100 PV order.
Okay. Lynn is trying to ask, what exactly is a design dollar?
So, perfect question, Lynn. So as one of our rewards for our designers, for every $200 in PV, PV is either orders I placed myself for me to use or customers placed orders. For every 200 PV, the company gives us the next month 20 free dollars, basically. They call them design dollars, but it's a coupon to take $20 off your next order. Think of it as a bounce back coupon. So it's in $200 increments. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 1,000. So if you have 350 PV for the month, you're going to get 20 design dollars. But if you bump it up to 400, now you get 40 design dollars. And you always get those the next month. So it's essentially a bounce back for you to go back and use it.
So a correction, Lynn was asking, she meant by the new sponsor coupon. Does that count?
The new sponsor coupon.
She says, does that order you place with the coupon?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
And then
so the $99, are you talking about the $99 when you order that kit, or are you talking about the coupon you get? So as a new designer, when you join Chalk Couture, you're going to get a one-time coupon. It's roughly about an extra 16%. It brings you up to 50% wholesale to use on one order. And it's always, if you join, let's say today, you would get it on the following Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. It would say, here's your welcome coupon, and it's a coupon you put in there. Once again, any coupons you use that bring down the order total, whatever you're paying in cash or credit card or whatever, is your PV. Your $99 kit when you enroll does not count towards your PV because you're in the middle of a quarter. So there's no need for it to count towards anything because that quarter is null and void for you. You're not really being graded till that first full quarter you're part of.
Okay. Deshelle is saying, so design dollars aren't given for the amount of a single order.
No, they're a combination order. So design dollars can come from your orders and your customer orders. So let's say this month I've spent myself $1,000. It's a catalog release. I went and spent $1,000. But then I had a customer place a PV, of 100, which would be basically 60 PV because minus the 40%. So basically now I'm at 160 design dollars. So it's a combination at the end. So whatever is on your commission engine under my personal volume for the month, that's what your design dollars is based off of.
That's it so far.
All right. So I'll give it a few more seconds for people to ask any more questions. Keep in mind, commission engine is closing basically at the end of this month when they launch the new system. So it's going to be, you guys, we saw it at convention. It is so much better. We're going to get new replicated websites. So those are our websites that customers can go to order. They look amazing. There's an About You section that we can type up whatever we want, put our photo, put our social media links. It's so much easier to use. So I cannot wait. So I know there's a lot of confusion around commission engine and back office. All that will go away and it will be one here soon.
Yep. That's it. I think we can.
All right, guys. Is that the last question?
Oh, wait. We just got another one. Should I have a team page with the reasons why someone should join and then a page for after they join?
Depends on how you want to run your business. I have that opportunity page. So you guys should be part of it. You can go see in there what it looks like. But I created that after I got back from leadership, and it's my way of basically someone saying, I'm interested in Chalk Couture, and instead of me going and being like, here's the commission engine, here's this, I can say, let me add you to a group so you can kind of go look at all the posts and tell me how you feel. So I would always recommend having an opportunity page so you can do that, or something. On my blog, I have a thing that says why I should join Chalk Couture, or why to join Chalk Couture, so people can discover information. So I always think it's good to have some sort of page that you're in control of for doing that, but it's up to you how you want to run your business.
Crafting Made Simple says, I've tried to post as myself in my business page when sharing personal stuff, but I can never find it after I post. Does this feature work?
I don't know the question, but I will say that when you're on your Facebook page, there is an option. I will show my screen here really quick. Hopefully no messages they up because sometimes, they contain personal information. But when you're on your Facebook page and you're replying to someone, there is a drop-down box that says, please, are you replying as can. So right here, do you guys see this as if I'm going to do a post and stuff? It goes away here, but right here, you'll see this, posting as Ken's Creations. If I click that, I can post as Ken's Creations. I've taken away the feature to post as Ken Hess off my page because I was having a lot of it post that way, but you do have the option to change it to one or the other. So if you have other team members, some people have multiple teams, like their business, and they have like 5 team members, and it will be down here like, these are the people that work here. So team members Ken Hess, you then can say, I want to post as them. And replying is the same thing.
One last one. When someone signs up under me, would I get credit for their starter kit?
I do not believe so. I'll double check that, but I do not believe so because it's $99 and the retail value is $250. So I do not believe you get initial that in your PV. So no, I don't think that's in the team volume. I will verify that, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
So Sarah was saying, I need an opportunity VIP shop.
So they're groups, not shops. So it would be like you're creating a Facebook group. You do not need anything. That's just how a lot of people do it. They will have a VIP group and an opportunity group, and it's just a tool to get people. So for me, because I have so many people that will contact me now, I have those 2 separate groups, but you don't have to do them. It's not a shop, it's a group, because we can't really sell our product on Facebook. We can link a product saying, here's the product, and send them to our Chalk Couture website. So there's no need for a shop. It would be groups.
Brandon's asking, can you use the 2 designer dollar coupons at once?
You cannot. No, it's 1 coupon per order. So that's what they're changing. So on the new system, you will be able to break up your design dollars however you want and use them towards multiple orders. So if you have $200 in design dollars, you can use it towards one order, and they come from different months. Currently, the way our system runs is 1 coupon per transaction. So that will be changing here at the new system.
And Patricia's getting her kit this afternoon.
Oh, you're so lucky. I loved getting my kit the first time. So,
right.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the presentation. If you have any questions, still feel free to reach out to me. This video is going to be posted as unlisted. So you do need to have the link. I will post it in our group so you can share it and stuff like that. But it won't be something someone could just go on YouTube and discover because I want it to be for our group. So it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for it to be ready for me to post that link again. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I plan on doing this presentation more every about 3 months. So. All right. Thanks everyone for joining. I hope it helped you and gave you some good ideas, and have a good rest of your weekend.